Last week, the American motocross season kicked off at historic Hangtown.
Great start. Is that Cianciarulo? Oh,
Cantrell off the foot peg.
I'm sure he's got a lot of people helping him.
Oh, and down hard is Ferrandis. Zach Osborne goes 1-1 at Hangtown. We're ready to go racing. Oh, he's starting to put it together now. Now Tomac's gonna square it. Oh, a little bit of contact.
Muskin's got a greasy inside. Oh,
yes, Tomac did it. Eli Tomac takes over Hangtown.
The Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship rolls into round 2 to take on the hills of Glen Helen. This is Motocross.
This is the heart of motocross in Southern California and round 2 of the 2017 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. It's the FMF Glen Helen National. Hello everyone and welcome to the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing. Jason Wygant joined by multi-time motocross supercross champion and Glen Helen winner Grant Langston for what we hope to be a great day of racing here in the Mecca of motocross, Southern California. Great action last week. So maybe an unexpected winner in one class, an expected winner in another, but an unexpected challenge. So who knows, at round 2 everybody's changing things, adjusting. Could be different again.
Definitely can be. Glen Helen is a local track for a lot of these guys. Got a lot of laps around here. And in fastest in qualifying, Adam Cianciarulo, I think no real surprise. This kid's been getting faster and stronger each week. But the momentum and the points lead is with the number 16, Zach Osborne. But if there's one place I think they can derail him from winning, it's here at Glen Helen. Moving on to the 450s, we saw Josh Grant pull out the fastest lap in second practice, not the fastest overall. But this is his home track. He's got a big support and crowd behind him. I think he can do very well with a great start. But of course, everyone's going off that number 3, Eli Tomac. He's just looked rock solid. He's the favorite. Can anyone stop him today?
Let's show you how we go racing in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. We have 2 classes. First, we'll see the 250cc machines, then the larger 450s in the next hour. Each class runs 2 motos, and then each class totals their 2 motos to determine an average to get a overall winner for the weekend in both classes. It's a 12-round championship. This is round 2 of 12. Will be done just before September. Let's send it down to Georgia Lindsay with an update from the racetrack.
Dylan Ferrandis, second round of the season out here for Glen Helen. Dylan, last weekend was not great for you. You did have that crash, injured yourself a bit, but 4th in qualifying today. How you feeling?
Yeah, I feel much better today. For sure, last weekend was not really good for me. I had a bad crash. I hit my head and my neck and my chest, so I was really sore all week. But I feel good. I ride a little bit this week, a lot more during the press day Thursday, and today I feel good. The weather is nice, the track is really beautiful, so it's good for a good day.
Well, it's great to have you here. Thank you, Dylan. Best of luck, and we'll move over to one of his teammates over here, Colt Nichols. Colt, qualifying for you today wasn't as good as I know that you could prove yourself with a 15th, but last weekend, 6th overall for you, really showing some speed. What's been going on, and what's the changes you've made?
Biggest change this summer was getting to work with a new trainer, Gareth Swanepoel, and I'd worked with Robbie Raynard many years before, and just something that I decided to do, and it's been a good change for me so far. I still obviously communicate and try to do everything I can with Robbie, and Gareth's just been really involved and helping my program, and I feel like I'm in good shape. I feel like we're ready to go compete for something this summer, and yeah, practice, like you said, wasn't that great this morning, but that's okay. That's why we got some motos to turn it around, so looking forward to the first moto.
Best of luck. Thanks, Colt.
And the gate to drop here at Hangtown. Oh,
and he gets taken out right there in front of us. Hayes has really made mistakes.
Osborne. He sees an opening. It doesn't take much for Osborne to take advantage now. We'll see Cirillo fight back, you bet.
I'm sure he's got a lot of people helping him.
Oh, and down hard is Ferrandis. Oh, Jeremy Martin, who had climbed up to 6th place. Your 2-time series champ has problems. Zach Osborne starts 2017 with a moto win, and Osborne's got himself a great start this time. He might even grab the whole shot. Osborne's going to give Savatgy another shot.
He's got the inside going to this turn.
Around Cianciarulo, what an outside line by Fortner. Look at that, cut across the ruts and takes over 2nd. What a move. Zach Osborne goes 1-1 at Hangtown. Nearly time to go racing here at the monster of a racetrack that is Glen Helen Raceway in California. Here's the KTM keys to the moto. Grant?
Well, for some guys, they're going to be looking for a rebound race. Maybe for Ferrandis, Faulkner, Martin. Round one didn't go as planned. And second one, dangerous downhills. Glen Helen, tons of elevation. We saw some big braking bumps already forming in practice. It's going to be tough for these guys and seize the momentum. Osborne's got it. This is the type of place where someone can step in. All the riders are familiar with this track. They've got to wrestle the lead away from him and not let him start, really building confidence, which he's built off from Supercross. Here's our MX versus ATV track map. The start is the same at Glen Helen, up the hill through the gearbox, but Talladega, not quite a 180, more of a 90-degree sweeper. Hopefully you get that motorsport.com whole shot. Then a little twisty windy at the top of the hill before dropping down. One of the hardest braking points here under the Lucas Oil Arch, and then up Mount St. Helens. Only difference is they're turning right before the American flag, which helps fans identify their riders before they disappear. Then down the hill, this is where we talked about big braking bumps coming down here into a bit of an off-camber bowl type turn, then back into the canyon over the Lucas Oil step up. This part of the track, a little rockier, a little more square edge, as opposed to this part of the track lower down where a little more sandy loom. Go up another one of these hills at Glen Helen, and this part of the track, very exciting for the fans. Drop down, they have a couple little jumps, and then this huge Red Bull triple step up. Top part of the track again, sweeper 180, then you step down back in front of all the crowd. A quick chicane, this next straightaway, they ripped it really deep. It's very muddy, lots of ruts. Find your way through here, then you got to hit the brakes over this little jump, then gas it and triple in over the Lucas Oil finish line, and then triple out. That's what the fast line is through this straightaway. Then turn these rollers, get your weight back, try and time it, but you see guys bouncing through there. Then this section here, back and forth, they've brought in a lot of basically beach sand, so we're seeing the lines changing each and every lap. Then you make one right-hander back onto the start straight. That's a lap here at Glen Helen.
And we'll show you what it looks like on board. This is Jeremy Martin with our Garmin Verb camera.
This is coming up to that jump where you got to brake right before the finish. Now watch, they'll accelerate and launch over this triple. It's pretty big. Wow. And then back on the throttle, another triple. Almost like a very much Supercross type section there. Watch them rail the outside, get your weight back, bounce, double. So he goes from a bounce to a double. Hug the inside. That was the fastest line in practice. Scrub this jump. Another one of those tough jumps for these 250Fs to get over. Make a selection, inside, outside, split lane. Then you launch into these sand rollers. Cool stuff watching right there.
That sand section is all new. Now don't be confused here. This is not the number 69, it's the 129. But all of the Red Bull Troy Lee Designs KTM riders are going to run a 69 front number plate in this moto in honor of the late Nicky Hayden, who was tragically lost in a bicycle crash. Hayden, a former MotoGP world champion on the road race side, an AMA Superbike champion, but well respected throughout the racing community. So there are a lot of tributes from a lot of teams and riders today, and a big one. All of the Troy Lee riders will be running the 69, that was Hayden's number, for their front number plate in this moto. So don't be confused. With that, we are ready to go racing. You see the mechanics leaving the starting area. And by the way, the start has been moved forward about 20 feet from previous years. It won't be quite as fast into the first turn. Let's go racing here at Glen Helen. All right, that fly racing 32nd card is sideways. They drop the hammer, and it's Jeremy Martin out front on the number 6. The Geico Honda, Joey Savacci, 17, right behind.
Oh, you can see that throwing some water down. It is slick up there. This is the first time they're trying to fit 40 riders through there. And like I predicted beforehand, a couple of riders going down. This is the tough part of the race. Where do you go? There's riders all over the place. For Martin, he's going to run his lines. Look behind Savacci, already going after, is that Faulkner?
I think Faulkner's going after Savacci. And shout out to 4th place, 74, Bradley Taft, a rookie who has been out injured for quite some time and did not race with us last week at Hangtown. It's his debut for the year. Raced a couple races with us at the end of last season, and look, he's gotten around Faulkner and is going after Savacci, their young rider on the Cycle Trader Rock River Yamaha.
I think for Faulkner there might have been just a little inexperience. I would have gone down the outside, just like Taft did. Leave the brakes, go where no one else is going. Oh, someone went down. That's one of the Red Bull Troy Lee Design KTM riders.
Try to get your number on that in a second. So there is Taft, who originally wasn't going to be back till maybe High Point after the break in a couple of weeks, but decided he's ridden out this track plenty, as are most of these riders, so why not give it a shot? I don't know where he is endurance-wise, but speed is definitely impressive. The 3rd place rider on the 74.
Well, the one thing he's got working in his favor is today we're in the low 70-degree range. Typically when you come to a place like this, it's at least 20, maybe 25 degrees warmer. So if you're coming in not 100% healthy or fit, you're very thankful that the weather's the way it is.
And a big difference from what we had last week at Hangtown, where it was very hot. So here's your battle now. Faulkner has got one of the other Yamaha riders behind him. That is Nichols. So Nichols, who was very strong, career best, 6th last week. Saw him talk to Georgia before the moto, and he's on the hunt for Faulkner right now. That would be for 4th place.
Great racing from the 250 riders in the opening laps. Look at that. Trying to go around the outside there was Nichols. And that's one thing we've noticed already with this track. There are a lot of line selections. Yeah. There's almost a clear inside and out. So there's Zach Osborne. So the man who pretty much dominated round 1 with a 1-1 is now in 13th place. And a lot of fast, talented riders in front of him. This is going to be, this is where you really see what these guys are made of. And for Osborne, he's shown us he is not afraid to come through the pack, and he can do it very well. And he showed us in Las Vegas with the rider on our screen, number 17. He'll do what it takes to win.
So a 2-rider breakaway with our leader, Martin and Savacci, and then a big pack back here with Taft, Faulkner, Nichols, Sean Cantrell comes through next, Plessinger, Miguel Rath, Mosman, Alex Martin. So basically 3rd, all the way back to Osborne in 13th. All 10 riders in a freight train, but they're all trailing this man, Jeremy Martin. What did you say the keys to the moto were? You have to rebound. Didn't finish the first moto last week. This is how you get it done.
Well, we talked about, you know, basic guys that had to rebound, and yes, Martin was one of them. Another one was Faulkner, who's in our screen right now, 24 on the Cowie.
Savacci.
And then, Dylan Ferrandis, another one. He hasn't quite got the start. He is down at 20th.
Wow.
So at this point of the season, he's looking at 1 point after 3 motos. That's probably not what he had envisioned before the season started.
How about Colt Nichols here on the Yamaha? The blue bike still going after Faulkner. And Nichols has never really had a chance to show what he's capable of outdoors. He's had a couple of podiums in Supercross through his career, but has been injured a lot during most of the seasons when we got to the Nationals. So now we're seeing what he's capable of, and it's pretty impressive. Trailing Faulkner here and just looking for a spot to make a pass on the 39. He's got an inside line.
And what was only a few years ago, he was known as an arena cross guy, and Faulkner was the future of our sport. You watch them now, you would never know the background of these two because it looks like Nichols has a little more pace. So probably Faulkner doesn't quite look like we've seen him in some opening laps. He looks a little almost like he's making some of the wrong decisions or taking the wrong lines. And sometimes it's the case of overthinking things, or you've been here so many times, you fall back to, you know, when the guys practice, a lot of times the inside, right in this turn, is the fastest way. So subconsciously, you go back to those lines. You see guys that haven't raced here much, they're taking all different types of lines, very creative, and you can see what it's doing.
Well, yeah, it's working for Nichols, but Faulkner knows it's time to go. He's got to try to get around the rookie, Taft. He's been very strong here, running in 3rd. Can Faulkner find a way around Taft? Or will Nichols find a way around Faulkner?
Faulkner's starting to look like he's getting a little impatient right now. So you got to imagine he's going to probably try and force the issue.
And they're going to hit this jump. Let's send it down to Georgia.
Yes, you can see how unbelievably long this start straight in is. One of the longest that we have on the schedule. Their body is changing so much. They put all their weight on the back and really hang it out there, as they say. And that's trying to get as much momentum as they can on the bikes going up into that corner at Talladega. Brian, you can explain how you use your body to really get your weight on the rear of the bike.
Yeah, I'll tell you that in a second, but a change up front. So Faulkner, we said it, he was getting impatient.
Yep.
Had to make that pass because he also knew there was a freight train behind him. Now he's got some clear track. He can break away a little bit from, well, he's going to try. Let's put it that way. Because I think Nichols, he made the pass quick.
And look, Nichols is trying to make the pass on Faulkner. Took a long way around, but it almost paid off. So Faulkner cleared Taft, but not able to break free from Nichols. He's pushing hard.
Faulkner looked over his shoulder going, wait a minute, I just passed someone. Who's this breathing down my neck?
It's still Colt Nichols. So now we're going to see how long Taft can hold on. Taft is going to have to battle with a fellow rookie, Sean Cantrell. Man, Nichols might have the pass made here. Not much room over the top of that crest. Woo, that was close.
Hey, these guys, this is beautiful to watch. Look at this. Oh, whoa! That was a little too close for comfort. You could tell Faulkner let out of it. He didn't get the drive up the hill, and Nichols was able to jump a little bit further. Just one of those situations. They took off close to each other, and right when their lines started drifting towards each other, I know that feeling. It's not a good one, trust me.
Yeah, it could have landed on each other, so wise move of Faulkner to just completely back out of it and give the position to Colt Nichols. Now this dude, I didn't even know if he'd be able to line up at Hangtown. He came out and got 6th. Now he's in a podium spot. Take us through this pass.
Well, watch this. They take off close. Faulkner doesn't get all the way over, and you can see Nichols gets a little more pop. And no, Faulkner, if he didn't move, they may have at least clipped elbows at the edge of the bars. So both riders taking evasive action. But how about Jeremy Martin
evading? This is an evading action as he's trying to get away. You see Savacci still lurking back there in 2nd. But Martin's lead is up to 3.5 seconds. And this is the Jeremy Martin that everybody has to fear when you come to Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. 2014 and 2015 champ of this division. Last year a tough season with illness and injury. If he's back 100%, he might be hard to stop today. ARCA comes to MAV TV next Saturday. That's today's up-and-coming drivers squaring off at the famous Fairground Speedway in Nashville, looking to follow in the footsteps of former track champions. ARCA Series next Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern, only on MAV TV, Motorsports Network. Jeremy Martin trying to motor away here. This is the FMF Glen Helen National. The Geico Honda rider got the whole shot and has been able to pull away from there. Let's go to the motosport.com whole shot replay. Show you Martin here in the 6th.
Yeah, Martin gets a great jump, and then watch, gets his weight back, shifts correctly, but he doesn't sit on the seat. He's basically squatting all the way back. And the reason that is they rip the start straight, so it bogs the bike down. So when you get your weight back, you're only on the rear wheel, so it takes the drag away from the front wheel that's not pulling you through. And it makes a big difference, especially on the 250s.
Standing up off the start. Is that something they do often?
Well, if you sit, you're actually putting more pressure on the rear fender, which is pushing it into the ground. If you almost squat, yes, it takes a little more effort, but it doesn't push the bike and bog it down quite as much. Like I said, because Glen Helen, they rip it deep, and it's a long, gradual uphill. Long, gradual uphill. Emphasize long.
Yeah, and then there's some steep, shorter ones here as well at this crest right now. You got to see how big the gap is between Nichols and Faulkner, 3rd and 4th. They are way back from our leaders, Martin and Savacci. Then it's Plessinger has climbed up to 5th, so Plessinger's really a man on the move here. There he is on the 23, the blue Yamaha Star Racing Yamaha. Then it's Alex Martin, Jeremy's brother, coming through next.
And
Osborne, yes, Osborne starting to stir. Started about 13th, now is up to 7th. He's at the very top of the screen here on that white machine with the red number plate. So this could be a great battle. Osborne, you mentioned, didn't just have the good start, but he's got a lot of the fast guys right in front of him. It's not going to be easy to just blow past Alex Martin, who was 2nd in the championship last year, 2nd overall last week, and also Plessinger, who's next ahead. He was 3rd last week.
Yeah, and so on and so on.
Right.
Yeah, you got all these guys that there's one rider they don't want to be passed by. It's the 16 of Osborne. So there's a little extra motivation for these guys.
He's coming, though. He's definitely closed the gap on Amart. And Alex has got to know that he's there right now. They're into this infield section where the fans get a good look at it. Let's see how Osborne plays it.
Well, Alex Martin also went over the jump there using his hand to wipe the goggles. And we've seen that a fair bit in these opening rounds. Maybe riders just snatching at their tear-offs and grabbing the whole stack. You've seen a lot of that, you know, the forearm wide just to get some clear vision, which is all the more reason if you're Alex Martin, you don't want to be behind someone. You want, you know, clear track in front of you.
Osborne and Alex Martin about to do some battle here for 6th. Osborne going to try to run it through the sand. He's going to go the outside. Will he square it? Yes, he gets back to the inside. As Georgia was talking about before, it's just going to be a high-speed drag race. Alex looks over. What was the hand gesture there from Osborne?
I'm not sure what that was. Almost like it was a gesture like something's wrong with the bike.
Yeah.
Because that's when a rider has that tendency to throw their hand up, they're letting their mechanic know they're not happy about something.
Okay, so that wasn't toward Alex, maybe. It was maybe towards the mechanic.
Because he gave a little look over, and I don't know.
Okay.
Or maybe he's saying to his mechanic, like, what, you know, give me a signal. Where am I?
Yeah, these two are pretty good friends off the track. I don't think it would be anything any beef between the two riders.
I'm 99% sure that was something to his mechanic.
Okay. Osborne trying to use the inside, and it worked. And that's impressive because remember how much
the outside working in the beginning.
Yeah.
But that's what we talk about. You got to improvise. You got to change with the changing conditions. It was wet and slippery, so you had to brake earlier to get to the inside, and the ruts were covered in mud and were soft. 15 minutes later of the race, or almost, it's a lot different from everyone going through there. Plus, if they went to the outside, it's gotten rougher. So it's that pendulum type thing. When do you do the crossover?
Well, Alex, I think, figured out some of these lines. He is not going to let Osborne go, going to try to hang with him, as Osborne will try to chase down 5th place. Plessinger, see the blue motorcycle just up ahead, and then ahead of him is this green 24 of Forkner on the Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki. So Forkner, man, Nichols got around him, and Nichols has pulled away. I am just astounded by the performance of Colt Nichols to start the season. This guy broke his femur back in November, then broke his knee in, I believe, mid-February, and they were really not sure if he'd even be able to line up for the beginning of the season. And here's Nichols looking to put the bike on the podium in 3rd, and Forkner in 4th, who is no slouch, no longer has him in sight.
What makes that more incredible is someone like Nichols. I remember hearing some people at the beginning of the year saying, "Oh, why would the team sign someone like him? He's not anything special." And he's just proving everyone right now that what Yamaha saw, the Star Racing team, what they saw in him was something that not everyone else saw. As we have a look here at the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. Savachi, team leader, in 2nd. Faulkner 4th, Cincerello 13th, and Justin Hill out of this one. Wow. Not been a good start to the season for Faulkner as we hit the halfway point of the race.
All right, so that means 15 minutes to go, and you can save 15% or more on your insurance if you call Geico. So we remind you to do that. Yeah, so not bad if you're Savachi or Faulkner 2nd and 4th. But seeing Cirulo 13th, that's not where he wants to be after being today's fast qualifier. And Justin Hill, who I think really likes this track, one of the better ones for him, out of this. So that's definitely tough luck for the 46. And we'll see. Meanwhile, we'll keep it on Forkner because you got a feeling that Plessinger and Osborne are coming.
Oh, he got a kick there down Mount St. Helen. And that was... gathered that up real quick, but yeah, definitely one of those moments where it makes you rethink your line selection.
Okay, that's one way to look at it. So Forkner all alone right now, not able to see Nichols except for the longest sections, but he doesn't quite have heat from Plessinger. But for how long? And a huge shakeup here at Glen Helen. Austin Forkner's bike has stopped running while he was in the number 4 spot. He was actually lucky to escape. The rear wheel locked up, but luckily he wasn't going over any jumps. And we'll take you through this, but he is done for this moto.
Yeah, he comes down. Let's see what happens. We haven't seen the whole part, but you see right there. Oh, yeah, bike just seized. Look, it locked hard. Look. So I'd be curious to know what exactly happened. But very uncharacteristic for the Pro Circuit team. We know Mitch Payton, someone that's proud of himself, as we now hear that Ferrandis had trouble.
We're trying to find.
He's out of the screen. Oh.
Yeah, he's down. Okay, he's down on the inside, tied up with 38, McElrath. So, man, Ferrandis having a tough time just getting things going so far this season.
The only one that read the rebound race memo is the number 6 right now. One of 3 are still going, because now the other 2, wow, this is, talk about an uphill battle for the next 10 rounds of motocross to come.
Yeah, Ferrandis, we have now back in, I can't even find him on the radar right now, as a matter of fact. And Forkner is obviously out after running in 4th. Checking on our 2nd place rider, Joey Savachi. Well, he got 7th in the 2 motos last week, and for Savachi, that's not probably where he wants to be either. So a bit of a rebound for him to be up in 2nd. Georgia, what do you have on the 17?
Yes, I was just talking with Mitch Payton, the Pro Circuit Monster Energy Kawasaki team owner and manager, and he said that Savachi last week, he just had an off weekend, but he didn't have the bike set up how he wanted it. They made a lot of changes on the suspension. He feels a lot happier this weekend. Obviously, going into the first race of the season, the chassis and the way that you have your suspension can change a lot. So now he's made those changes. I'm pretty sure he went softer on his springs and everything. So Brian, you'll know what that feels like.
Well, we were talking about that in our, conversation this week. what riders would be doing from round 1 to round 2. And like we said, a lot of guys probably thought they had the bike where they wanted it going into Hangtown, and guaranteed a lot of riders and a lot of teams were back at testing this week and throwing it. And
another rider, that's Kyle Cunningham, and he looks to be hurt. Oh, tough break for the Texan on the Joe Gibbs Racing Auto Trader Suzuki. He's going to be all right there. Man, Cunningham had a tough go of it with some bike problems at Hangtown, and looks like he's not going to finish this moto either. So Savacci has definitely changed things now. I think the big worry a lot of people had for Savacci was where would his head be coming into motocross after a heartbreaking defeat at the hands of Osborne on the last lap in a championship battle in Supercross. I talked to Johnny O'Mara, who's now working with Savacci, and they were aware that there could be a potential hangover from that. So he spent a lot of time just trying to basically take his mind off it and get this guy pumped up on riding again. At the 7-7 last week, maybe not what Savacci wanted, but he'll be pretty happy with this, running in second. But I don't know if anyone's going to be happier than this guy, except for the fact that this track is so darn rough. But Colt Nichols, what a ride in third.
Yeah, very impressive. You know, for me, he's the guy I'm going to give the, you know, attaboy for Moto 1. Big surprise for me. Last week was a surprise, so maybe we've got to just stop saying, hey, he's not really an outdoor specialist, because he's just proving everyone that you may not have had me on your fantasy league, but you might want to put me on there for the next, you know, remainder of the season.
Yeah, last week he got a 6th in a moto, and that was a career best. Now he's looking at a 3rd. Although the hunt is on, his teammate Aaron Plessinger is 4th. And Plessinger's responded to the challenge. Osborne has not been able to close in, and in fact, Plessinger might be able to get Nichols before it's over.
Well, there's enough time. If you got the pace, there's only a few seconds between those 3 riders. This is going to come down now where riders have figured out their lines. They're gotten to their rhythm, their groove. The intensity then starts to pick up. You can see in the background old Osborne grenading the berms through there in the sand section. And there is Kyle Cunningham. He looks to be shaken up. Nice to see him walking off on his own power there with the Alpine Star track medical crew. They do a great job at trying to protect our riders and keep them safe, and also help them get back out there, you know, whether it's taping up an injury or stabilizing something. Good to have those guys around.
Absolutely. All right, so the battle beginning to brew. Plessinger does not want Osborne to get him, and in fact, that push from Osborne is pushing Plessinger up toward his teammate, and we might have a 3-rider duel for 3rd before this one is over. Jeremy Martin continues to lead Moto 1 here at Glen Helen, but who's going to join him on the box when it's over? Don't forget to catch the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, premier national touring sanctioning body for dirt late models, next Thursday, 9 Eastern and Pacific, only on MAV TV. Late stages of our first of 4 motos today from Glen Helen in California, and the battle is on. Zach Osborne not letting Aaron Plessinger go. And the way these two rode at round 1, the way they're riding here, you never know. This could be very crucial championship points on the line in this position. So Osborne's digging deep to try to catch Plessinger. Plessinger is going to fight to try to prevent Osborne from catching him. And by the way, 3rd place, Colt Nichols gets closer every time we see them.
Yeah, you're getting that accordion effect happening now as it starts to tighten up. Right as time is starting to run out, this could be an interesting last couple laps. We can only hope. But like you said, we can see all 3 riders in the shot now, so probably the closest they've all been for some time. But Osborne still not able quite to get to the rear of Plessinger, where it seemed a week ago, once he got around someone, he just basically quickly moved up to the rear of the next guy, disposed of him, and then kept, you know, continuing through that. He's gotten to the 5th place, and it seemed like they keep mirroring each other's lap times. Someone will gain a half a second, then lose a half a second.
Osborne did something interesting going into Hangtown last week. He just rode his bike from 2016. He didn't do any testing, just took last year's bike, rolled it out. He went 1-1 last week. The other guys may have guessed wrong on their settings. For certain, some of these riders have stepped up in the last 7 days to improve the motorcycles, and it's definitely more difficult on Osborne than it was. Plessinger continues to close. That's a lap rider they're getting around, but Plessinger is pretty much there to get around Nichols. So we were wondering who was going to happen first. Was Osborne going to get to Plessinger, or was Plessinger going to get to Nichols? It's Plessinger trying to make the move. He's on the inside.
Well, Nichols caught that lap rider at the wrong time and it pushed him wide of that run. And Plessinger gained about 5 to 7 bike lengths just in that turn, and he looks like he wants to make this happen soon. The roost hurts. A lot of times they're running out of tariffs, if they have any at all, because look, Plessinger now is just pulled out in another 10 bike lengths on Osborne.
Absolutely. So Plessinger's got the opportunity he wants to get third in this moto, get it up on the podium. Can he get around his teammate? Working the outside lines.
All right, he has a good place to pass. Who's going to go where? Bob Plessinger, leave the brakes to late. Okay, if Nichols goes to the outside, square it to the inside. Get through this rut, rail it. Has he got it? He has.
He did, and there was a lap rider.
Another lap rider.
Yeah, Nichols' way, so Nichols had no chance to hold him off. So Plessinger, responding to the challenge from Osborne, goes all the way up and passes his teammate, Nichols, for third. All right, nice job by AP there, weathering that storm.
Well, he did the smart thing. If you come down the hill on the outside and the rider in front of you goes to the outside, it gives you the opportunity to cut to the inside. So Plessinger left himself with multiple options, smart riding. The minute Nichols went to rail the outside, Plessinger just basically railed the inside as hard as he could to make sure he got his bike in front of him at the exit. Now Osborne's saying, hey, I've seen how this works. Let me try and get a piece of this. Great drive there. They're going to drop off.
Oh, Osborne might have him right here. Gonna have to use the outside, and he's got him. And I mentioned several times during this moto all the injuries that Colt Nichols has been dealing with as of late. I have to wonder now, as we're about 30 minutes into this moto, if all the lack of training time starting to catch up to him, because Osborne and Plessinger caught him quick.
Yeah, also too, once you get passed by someone late in the race, it can really just suck that little bit of wind that was left in your sails right out of you. And makes you almost want to, not want to, but makes you lose a little of that rhythm and that intensity. He's probably figuring, hey, I gave it everything I had for as long as I could. There's no one behind me. You know, it'll still be a great result in fifth.
Give you the rest of the running order behind this battle. You got Nichols back to fifth. Alex Martin still sixth. CNC Rouleau's gotten up to seventh. Moseman, a rookie, is eighth. Cantrell, another rookie, ninth. Jimmy Dakotas, nice job, up into the top 10. And Dylan Ferrandis, after a crash, is 11th, so good recovery for him. Osborne's not done. Gonna be 2 laps to go here, and he wants 4th place. He's gonna go after Nichols.
Oh, you see the line starting to be creative, climbing that bank there, trying to stay out of those really deep square edge holes. Look at these guys down the hill. Bikes just dancing all over the place. Osborne's got a good line there, avoiding some of the braking bumps, going down the hill on the inside and then swinging back at the last minute just to avoid some braking bumps.
Sorry, Osborne's got Nichols. He wants Plessinger for third. Yeah, he got 4th. Yes, he got 4th. Now he's trying to get the other Yamalupe Star Racing Yamaha. Man, if you're Plessinger, you make the move for third. Probably feel like I did my job. I did what I needed to do, but Osborne is just relentless here.
Osborne's doing his job, coming through. This guy's a fighter. And Georgia, can you add on Zach Osborne?
Yes, Zach Osborne, we saw him take the 1-1, taking the overall last weekend, and he is in the best shape he's ever been in. Training with Alden Baker, who is also with Brian Dungy, Marvin Luska, and Jason Anderson, these guys who have won championships. Seems to be working for him. He's walked away with that 250 championship in Supercross, and right now I don't think fitness is an issue no matter what the weather is, and he is able to just keep going and pushing.
Yeah, talking to Plessinger today, Plessinger said his goal this week was just trying to recover from Hangtown. That was a very rough racetrack and a very hot day, so everyone was in a different type of condition after that race. Some guys were fresh, some guys needed a little bit of rest. Whatever Osborne's doing right now, though, he's doing it right because he is right behind the 23 now.
Yeah, Plessinger looked a little flat last week, so maybe it was a good thing having a bit of an easier week. Because sometimes recovery is almost more important than training itself. But Osborne knows there's now with less than 2 laps to go. They got the 2-lap card as it went by, so about a lap and 3/4. And this may not seem huge, but this is a big battle mentally. It's for the last podium spot. And not to mention, even at this point in the season, Osborne went 1-1 last week. We talked about, hey, he left with a 14-point lead. So for these guys, they don't want that to get any bigger. You know, even if they chip away 2 points, it looks a lot better when it's 12 rather than 18 or something.
Oh, no doubt about it. And it's for a podium position. So that's big as well. So these guys are going to leave it all out there with 2 laps to go. Jeremy Martin, he's the leader. Joey Savacci is second. Oh, Osborne, did he go off the track? How did he hold on to that?
I just caught that out of the corner of the screen, and that had to have given him a big wake-up call. Looked like the front end bounced and washed out, hit the ground, caught, shot back.
Man,
that could have been really bad, because he would have shot off the track at the worst part. He might have been stuck in a fence. I think we have a replay.
Yeah.
Watching the back corner of the screen, watch the front wheel, watch. It goes tuck, bounce, and then I cannot tell you, when it went wrong, it couldn't have gone any better. We saw last week for Ferrandis, it just went really bad when it went a little wrong. That right there, the bank saved him. So talk about hey, when you win championships sometime, or you plan on winning championships, you do need a little bit of luck to work with you, and he just he pulled that card out of somewhere.
Yeah, that banking on the side, or the crown molding as we like to call it, that saved him. He was headed into no man's land. Meanwhile, no drama whatsoever for Jeremy Martin. He got the drama out of the way last week. Did not finish the first moto when the bike stopped running. Been a rough, I'd say, 15 months for Jeremy Martin. And of course that leads to some people wondering, does he still have it? Does he still have the speed and form that led him to championships? I've got a feel for him that this is a huge moto victory if he can hold on with a lap to go.
Yeah, this is going to be, you know, like you said before, he's a 2-time champ, so he's won a lot of motors, a lot of overalls, but this might be one of the most meaningful ones to him. When riders have success and then they struggle, that next breakthrough can be sometimes the most important part of anyone's championship or even the career moving forward. So I think this is going to be an emotional win.
And for the team too, man. They had a rough go of it indoors.
Yeah.
And then obviously last week with the bike problems, not what they wanted. They've also have a bunch of riders out with injuries. So they all needed this. Just to look over to his mechanic. He calls Pedro over there in the mechanic section. And with a half a lap to go, it looks like J-Mart is headed for victory. Still pushing.
But I was going to say, do you see how gnarly those bumps are? He barely had the rear wheel on the ground because it was just kicking all the way up there. And this track's not going to get any smoother. It's just going to continue to break down. So you'll see lines form, then get broken down, and then they'll start reforming. So this track, one of the best as far as changing continuously. Remember, at the beginning of the race, we're like, run the outside. Now we're like, wait, run the inside. And then it's almost like, well, run the line that whoever in front of you is not using. So
yeah, but then none of them are good. I liked Jeremy had a post on Instagram this week when he was on the podium in the second moto a week ago in third. Had a scowl on his face, and he said, the look when you're not satisfied merely being average. He doesn't come out here to get third in these motos. He wants to win every time he's out on the track. And he has admitted it has been an adjustment going from the Yamaha to the Honda. He said when he first set this thing up, he tried to make it ride like his Yamaha did, and it didn't work. So they had to kind of go back to the drawing board. But this guy's just got sheer determination. He's figured it out. And combined with the great start in this moto, he has been basically unstoppable.
Yeah, he just started pulling away. Savacci still hung in there. He's about 8 seconds behind, but I think Martin toned it down. He just controlled the lead from the front. This was a championship performance moto. Good job for him.
Yeah, reestablishing himself as one of the contenders in the 250 class. Jeremy Martin wins the first moto at Glen Helen. 24 career moto wins in this division. So well done for the friendly young man out of Minnesota. We'll talk to him after this. Back to Glen Helen, let's send it to Georgia Lindsay.
Yes, Jeremy Martin, congratulations. Last weekend did not go the way you wanted it to, but you did finish off third overall in the second moto, but taking the win, how much does that mean to you with your 2-time 250 championship belts?
You know, it means a lot. You know, I've been very successful in the Outdoor National Series. So coming here at Glen Helen, the track's gnarly. It's one of a kind, and I've always rode pretty well here. So to get the whole shot on the Geico Honda was amazing, and I got to thank the whole HRC Honda team. Those guys have been behind me the whole time, and we've been grinding, and we're here, and we're ready to get some wins and some overalls.
Well, congratulations. Jeremy Martin is back, guys.
Yeah, that's potentially bad news for everyone else. And the good news for him, started immediately. A great start on that guy, Go Honda, and was able to pull away from there. You see Joey Savacci on the 17 in second place. Savacci would stay there for most of the moto. Drama for Savacci's teammate, Austin Forkner.
Yeah, mechanical problem there took him out of this one. Frustrating start to the season. 2 mechanicals in 2 weeks. Not what we're used to from this team. And to have the same ride, a tough one.
Zach Osborne, watch the rider on the right. Oh. Unbelievable. He was trying to get to third place. He was in fourth at the time and was so lucky to not go off the track. And actually slowed so much down the stretch he almost got passed by Colt Nichols at the end. Meanwhile, Jeremy Martin, it sure looks like he didn't put a wheel wrong that entire moto. Maybe over jumping that finish line a little bit. First mistake of the race. Osborne managed to hold off Nichols, but after that mistake, he definitely slowed the pace, and Colt almost caught him there at the end. Alex Martin finishes 6th. Cian Cirulo bad start 7th. Mosman, Ferrandis, and Cantrell salvaging some solid rides. Let's go back to Georgia.
Yes, taking second place in that first moto, Joey Savacci. Congratulations on that. I know that you worked on a lot to do with your bike this week. What changes did you make to get you up here?
A little bit of everything. Me, the bike. I was out here all week with the team, and Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Dunlop tires. We got to a great start, and it's a good turnaround. We struggled last weekend, but that's why I'm glad we race every weekend. We have a chance to redeem ourselves. So we'll go out this next moto and try to do it again. But I just can't thank the team enough. They've been sticking behind me. We've had a last couple months or month or so have been rough, but keep our head down and keep grinding and keep believing in what we do. And we're going to be up here a lot this summer.
Congratulations, second place there with Joey Savacci. The other side of me, Aaron Plessinger. Aaron, third place in that moto. You did have to battle your way through and then deal with the pressure of Zach Osborne behind you, but taking third, you pleased?
Oh, definitely, especially holding off Zach. It's not an easy task. I got off to kind of a bad start, and then I had to work my way up and got roosted a lot, used a lot of my tear-offs. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Just gonna come out here next time and try and get a better start and be up there with them guys. But just can't thank the team enough. Yamaha, Star Racing, Yamalube, Rockstar, Thor, Parts Unlimited. My family, my mechanic Billy, Alpine Star, and everybody else. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Aaron Plessinger. Well done.
Those guys look just as happy as the race winner, Martin. This guy doesn't have to smile. He runs this intimidating scowl. Your points leader, Eli Tomac, racing next.